mobilizing the overinvestment of bank deposits and coaching that money into income theme strategies, equities, fixed income, multi-asset strategies. But at the same time, across the ASEAN region, we are not just dependent upon intermediaries. We have many across the region spanning insurance, pension, investment-linked platforms, as well as mutual funds. And so the other big opportunity that we see is digital tech. And our digital tech is focused on our signature application called iFunds, which in the COVID environment allows our agents as well as our customers to engage directly and manage their portfolios without face contact.
Michael, thank you so much for your insights today. Michael Dummermuth, Manulife Investment Management Head of Wealth and Asset Management Asia. You're watching Bloomberg Markets Asia, and here's the latest business flash headlines. A key Chinese supplier to the solar industry is hiring a global auditor to assess its operations amid allegations over the use of forced labor in Xinjiang. New York-listed Daqo New Energy told Bloomberg it's shortlisted 3 auditing firms to vet its operations as it works to get ahead of U.S. sanctions that it expects to be extended to Chinese solar panel producers. Daqo denies that it's involved in human rights abuses. Nissan fell in early trade after its full-year operating view missed estimates. The automaker is expecting to break even in the current fiscal year as the chip shortage hinders its ability to cash in on rising demand for cars. The company posted a $1.4 billion loss for the last fiscal year, with sales down 12% year-on-year. But its CEO is betting a cost-cutting push and the release of new models to jolt interest.
All right, taking a look at markets right now, some big movers that we're seeing, particularly in the tech space right now. The sell-off seems to be picking up once again on this Wednesday morning, but you are seeing the likes of Alibaba up some 4.5%. We have earnings coming out on Thursday. Meituan snapping out of 10 days of losses following the fallout from the CEO and its post. There also was some criticism from a consumer group as well. Samsung Biologics, there were reports that they were going to manufacture the vaccine for Pfizer, but the company coming out and denying that. Also looking at these 3 the number of names here, MSCI adding these 3 names, Gamefeng Lithium, Ningxia Baofeng, these are the ones that have been added to the China All Shares Index, the 3 largest additions so far. And take a look at the benchmarks as well. The TAIEX is falling 2.5% or more right now, really been led by the semiconductor space here today and falling for a 3rd straight day with the cost be down more than 1%. This is Bloomberg.
It's 10:29 a.m. in Hong Kong and Shanghai, 10:29 p.m. in New York. I'm Bonnie Quinn with First Word Headlines. President Joe Biden is expanding free rides from Uber and Lyft as a way to entice more Americans to get vaccinations. The ride-hail businesses will offer free fares through July 4th to anyone going to get inoculated. The U.S. is administering about 2.1 million shots per day. That's down from 3.4 million about a month ago as domestic demand weakens and virus cases fall. Biden has also promised more vaccine help overseas.
Every country in the world is now looking to us to provide for their lack of capacity to produce and or have vaccines. I'm not going to shortcut the United States of America. I promise you we're going to have enough vaccine for every single American. But we are going to be engaged in working with other countries.
Brazil's health regulator has recommended the AstraZeneca shot be immediately suspended for pregnant women as authorities investigate the death of a Rio de Janeiro woman. The health ministry, however, says adverse effects are rare and lower than the risks posed by COVID and will continue to recommend pregnant women get vaccinated. The government says new guidelines will come after further findings. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has signalled a public inquiry into his government's handling of the pandemic within a year. Johnson told the House of Commons it will happen within this parliamentary season, which began Tuesday and is expected to run for about a year. Johnson is riding a wave of popularity after a series of key wins in local elections last week and a strong vaccine rollout. Former Nissan director Greg Kelly is set to testify for the first time in the final phase of a trial that began 8 months ago. He'll describe how he sought legal ways to keep former chairman Carlos Ghosn at the automaker as he seeks to prove his innocence and charges of helping Ghosn underreport his pay by more than $83 million. Ghosn escaped Japan by private jet in 2019. Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Bonnie Quinn. This is Bloomberg. How's?
Ronnie, taking a look at markets, Asia mostly lower on the back of losses on Wall Street overnight. We have Taiwan down as much as 3% as tech stocks lead declines. Of course, front and center, the CPI print today, along with government bond sales. These could prompt yet another bond sell-off. There are concerns about recovery being derailed by high inflation without commodities rallies. CSI 300 index, though, higher right now, up by 0.3%. Taking a look at the bond market, Treasury's pretty steady ahead of the 10-year auction. We have the Aussie 10-year yields jumping after that massive spending plan by the government. The debt office confirming more issuances on the way. RBNZ buying bonds as part of QE yields extending gains. In the commodity space, well, take a look at soft commodities. Corn surging, drought in Brazil causing a drawdown in global supplies, and China keeps hoarding corn, setting prices higher. After the deadly swine fever, its hog hearts are recovering and needing feeding. We have crude currently up by about 1/10 of 1%, 65.37, and copper futures inching higher as well, 478.40 right now. Fun.
Well, Sinovac vaccine is wiping out COVID among health workers in Indonesia, an encouraging sign for the dozens of developing countries relying on the Chinese shot. An exclusive interview with Bloomberg's Emma O'Brien, Sinovac's chairman and CEO Yingwei Dong defended the disparity in clinical data and said there was growing evidence Coronavac is performing better when applied in the real world.
The results from phase 3 trials are from a sample consisting of tens of thousands of people. But the more important data is mass use in the real world. We now have real-world data in Chile, where tens of millions of people have been inoculated. There, you see protection against ICU is at 89% and over 80% against hospitalization. Isn't this more convincing data? So we encourage our partners and governments in countries where our vaccines are being used to release such data as soon as possible. The results from the real world and the data we have from clinical trials will allow the world to judge our vaccine comprehensively.
完整的判断这个疫苗的一个